In this video, we will be learning about how to create a production order. So what is a production order? A production order in ERP, that's Enterprise Resource Planning, is an instruction or authorization to manufacture a specific quantity of a product within a defined time frame, where it serves as a link between planning and production execution, where it's also termed to be as your work order or manufacturing order, and it's a document used in your ERP system to initiate and track the production of your FG using your raw material and resources, where it contains all necessary details for production, such as your item to be produced or quantity to be produced, or bill of materials and routing details. Then comes your work centers or operations involved, start date and end date, material and labor requirements, and so on. And at short, a production order tells the factory what to make, how much to make, how to make it, and what and by when it has to be done. In order to understand the concept, let me explain in detail. For that, let's move on to our next slide. And so this slide consists of a cycle holding up the assemblies, which are of your seat assembly, frame assembly, handlebar assembly, brake assembly, accessories, which consist of your bell, stand and reflector. Then comes your front wheel assembly, drivetrain assembly, and rear wheel assembly. So those sub-assemblies requirement will be generated based upon the BOM, that's bill of material, which has been created and for which we are going to create a production order. This slide consists of the details that to be entered in our production order screen. So which follows up your item ID, item description, so production order quantity, UM, that's unit of measurements, BOM number, that's bill of material number, followingly by its name, that's of your BOM name. So those are the details which are going to be entered in our production order screen. And this slide consists of your production workflow approval process, where it has two processes. One is of reviewing the document, another would be of approving the document. So consider a scenario here that our production supervisor is being named as Raj, who will be reviewing the document which was sent by the user. And so the corresponding document will get forwarded to our manager, be named as Srini, who will be approving it. And so this is how the flow would be. So now in order to create a production order, let's move on to our login page. And so this is a login page, and I'm going to enter as a user. And now click on login, and here click on your PP and shop floor, that's production planning and shop floor. Move on to your transaction. At production order falls at, click on this production order. And so this is a screen of your production order where it can be created as well as it can be filtered up by giving a search. Now in order to create, click on this add icon. So here we have our location ID. Enter the location ID from your LOV. And so unit will be getting fetched up from your masters. And so here you have your order type, which are of different types. So here it includes your production order standard, production order non-standard, labor production order external rework, labor production order internal entity, tools external, and so a labor production order internal unit and tools internal. When you come to a production order of standard, it's been used for manufacturing a regular or predefined product as per the standard bill of material and routing. When it's of your non-standard, it's used when the item or process does not follow the standard BOM or routing. When you move on to your labor production order, that's for your external rework. This order is being created when a job is sent to an external vendor for rework or subcontracting. When you move on to your labor production order internal entity, this order has been used when internal labor within the same company or group entity performs the production activity. When you move on to your tools and internal, when you move on to your tools at external, so it's used when tool related works, that's of manufacturing, modification or repair, is outsourced to an external vendor. Then comes your labor production order of internal unit. It's been used when internal labor performs a production within the same unit or department, so not of a different entity. When it's of your tools at internal, it's been used when tool manufacturing or maintenance is done internally by the organization. So now let's place it up at your production order standard. Then you have a production prefix, which may get varied, depends upon your order type. Then you will be electing up your date. Then have a BOM type, which are of two, that's of manufacturing and engineering. When it's of your manufacturing, it's been created by the production or manufacturing department, and it defines how a product is actually built on the shop floor, including all materials, sub-assemblies and process details. When it's of your engineering, it's been created by the design or engineering department, and it defines how a product is designed, listing all parts, components and sub-assemblies from a design perspective. So now let's place it up on manufacturing. Then select the item and so I picked the item that's of bicycle, for which you're going to raise a production order, and give the ordered quantity, which are of 200. So after giving all such details, click on the stick icon, which belongs to creation. So when you give up on the stick icon, the document will get viewed up like this. In addition, we have our production order number, which will get generated automatically. Then we have our lot type, so where it's of your regular, pilot or sample. When it's of regular, it refers to the standard production batch manufactured under a normal production condition as per the approved process and bill of materials. When it's of your pilot lot, it's a trial production batch made before regular production to verify the process capability, machine setup and BOM accuracy. When it's of your sample, it's a small quantity batch produced for customer approval, testing or development purposes. And so we have elected it of regular. Then have a reference which is of editable, and so where you can give up your text. So when you click on the show more, we have two operation MR events. One is of first, another is of rest. So the first operation, which defines the first operation material requisition event, that's of your MR event, based on which the material request is created for the first process of production in a production orders routing. When it's of your rest operation MR event, it defines your rest operation material requisition event, that's based on which the material request is created for the subsequent process of production in a production orders routing after the first process. And it consists of two. One is of order release, another is of completion quantity. So when it's of your order release, set as OR, that's if material request is to be created for the raw materials for the entire production quantity during the approval of production order. When it's of your completion quantity, when it's been set of your CQ, if the material requirement must be generated only for the actual process completion quantity. So now let's place it both as a completion quantity. And so the status has been unreleased. So after posting the document status will be changed to as entry completed. So after approving the document, it will be changed to in progress. And so when the following process like your production completion and so MR and MIV, then comes your MRV, when all such process has been completed, the status will become completed. And so here we have a routing. So it defines a sequence of operations required to manufacture a product, and it specifies which work centers, how long each operation takes, and the resources needed for your production. When it's of your material requirement, or the list of all raw materials, components and consumables needed for your production order. Then comes your resources. So it's any work center, machines, tools or labor required to perform an operations in productions. When it's of your scrap or byproduct, so material lost during production that cannot be used further. So when it's of your byproduct, that's a secondary material obtained during your production that may have some value. Then comes your multiple resources, or the multiple work centers or machines that can perform the same operations. of your SO allocations, a sale order allocation links the production order to a specific sale order, and it ensures that the production output is reserved for fulfilling that sale order. Then we have an exception. It occurs when a deviation or issue happens during a production, such as a material shortage or machine breakdown or delayed operations. And at routing, it consists of the following details, such as your process and so type work center, which has been given up on your BOM, will be getting fetched up here. So after giving all such entries, click on the save option, and so it will get updated. And now click on post. Now the document will get moved on to our supervisor for review. Now click on OK. And so the document has been forwarded now. Now let's look up the status before having a review. After giving a production order number, give a search. Now the status has been of entry completed from unreleased. Now let's log in as our supervisor. Now click on login. And so this is a login page of our supervisor. Here move on to your bell icon. Go to your approvals, and so document has been folded up here. When you click on this detail icon, document will get displayed up. So where you have a review of the document. So after having a review, you'll be clicking on this approve icon. Now the document will get forwarded for approval to our manager. So in order to move the document, click on OK. And so document has been moved up to our manager. Now let's log in as our manager. Now click on login. So this is a login page of our manager. Click on this bell icon, go to your approvals. And so corresponding document has been took place here. When you click on this detail icon, document will get viewed up. So after having a review, let's click on this approve. Now click on OK in order to approve the document. Now the document has been approved. Now let's go and check the status at our user. Enter production number, give a search, and now the status has become from entry completed to in progress. So in order to view the document, click on this production order number. So where it holds your workflow log. So workflow history, it refers to the record or log of all actions, approvals, rejections, and status changes that occur during the life cycle of your workflow transaction in an ERP system, and it provides a complete audit trail showing who did what, when, and what decision was taken at each step of your workflow process. And so it shows the entire history of the document, and so the corresponding actions which has been taken up over here, where you can have a review of it. And so this is how you will be creating a production order. Thank you for watching.